women embody beauty, especially the beauty of the human form. So we shouldn't vilify caring about beauty. So my style just isn't the same anymore. And I think I'm still trying to sort through mentally because I didn't necessarily want these challenges. It's requiring soul searching, which sounds so strange because it's such a small thing, right? The clothes that you wear, and that can seem really shallow. Why do I care so much about what I wear, or whether I'm finding the perfect things at the thrift store? That in and of itself requires some thinking and meditation as to why does this even bother me? So before I became a mom, I was really into vintage fashion, particularly the 1940s, some 50s, here and there a little 60s, but mainly 1940s. I was putting my hair in rollers. Now I will say I am the laziest, so I was not doing this all the time. But for Sundays, for going to church, or for going out especially, I really like to do that. And I was wearing a lot of just your typical 1940s style. Right now, my hair is just straight. My hair is naturally straight, which means it's staying straight. I just do not have the energy or the time to be doing anything about it. Honestly, I'm doing really well if it's just washed, or if I put dry shampoo in it in the last couple of days. That, at this point, I'm doing great. And that's the minimal amount of self-care, right? And that's the struggle that I'm in right now. As far as clothing goes, personally now, I'm more interested in the aprons over a feminine, not frilly necessarily, but a feminine dress with tiers maybe, or just a square neckline and some embroidery. I love this right now. And this is partially for practical reasons. I want to protect my clothes from getting stained and messy, and especially because I only have a couple of true vintage pieces that honestly I'm not even wearing right now. But I have other pieces that I have found secondhand or sometimes new that I love. And because I care about that, I don't want those to get ruined. So all of that to say, practical reasons, I'm really considering, okay, what is it that women used to wear in the past? They wore aprons, they wore simple cotton frocks under their dresses, lots of skirts, but quality pieces. Okay, how to get snacks for the baby. I don't even know what I was talking about. Right, so they wore simple clothing that was high quality, that was durable. Although who am I kidding? What do I even know about it? I haven't done research. But from what I have seen in pictures and other videos of creators who focus on historical fashion, it seems like that's the case. But I want to get back to that in some measure. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to look like yet, but I want to get back to wearing simple, durable clothing that is going to withstand a lot of washings and a lot of use, a lot of kneeling down, and just the different things that I do throughout the day. Also, aside from practical reasons, I just really like that look aesthetically. I have recently been watching Lepke's life. I will put a link to her channel below, Delilah Lepke. I love her style. And you know, I wouldn't have originally considered it a similar style to my own, since I really have, at least in the recent past, been interested in 1940s vintage fashion. And that's not really what she does. But she just looks so lovely, so feminine, so comfortable. I'm really leaning more towards that, and yeah, okay, maybe I've been influenced, but I don't think it's necessarily for the worse. As far as shoes go, I don't like to wear heels anymore. I like heels, but I need stability. I need to be able to not feel like I'm gonna fall and drop my child. All right, so what are basically the inevitable reasons why this is happening? First of all, of course, lifestyle. Being a stay-at-home mom is messy. You have food everywhere, on your kid, on their clothes, on your clothes, snot, puke, etc. There's stuff all over you all the time. So things are going to be messy, and I don't want to be wearing my nice clothes. And that makes me sad because I love them and I want to be wearing them. That's why I own them. That's why they are in my closet hanging on hangers for me to use. But I don't want them to get stained. I don't want them to get chewed on. Yes, my child likes to chew on my clothing. I don't want that to happen. And so I have to figure out, okay, what am I willing to be constantly trying to get stains out of? Second, I need to be able to move. I mentioned this earlier with the shoes, but I need to be able to squat. I need to be able to step over his gaits. So for example, a stiff skirt is just not gonna work for me anymore. Third, I'm just not leaving the house a whole lot. I like to get out at least once a day to go to the store or especially go for walks, but I don't really go out a whole lot. So I want to be comfortable and there's not as much motivation to look cute. Plus, whenever I do get dressed, the environment is casual. Being at home is not the same as going out to dinner at a nice restaurant. The second inevitable reason for this change in style is time. My baby likes to wake up at the same time, and by that I mean he wakes up at 6 a.m. Now, I don't want to be up before 6 a.m. Sometimes that happens, but he is definitely not one of those marvelous sleeper children who likes to sleep until 7 or 7:30. No. My baby is up at 6 o'clock. Occasionally, if we're lucky, 6:30. So I don't have any chance first thing in the morning to get dressed to really do anything for myself, especially because I refuse to be up before 6 a.m. unless I have to be. His first nap isn't until mid-morning, so that's really my first chance to shower, to get dressed, to do much of anything. And as far as energy goes, I'm just tired. I'm tired first thing in the morning, of course. I'm tired in the evening after a full day of taking care of him and getting dinner ready and cleaning up and all of these things. I don't have the energy to be putting my hair in rollers at night, although maybe I should reconsider. And the final, I feel like, fairly inevitable reason for this style change is a desire to be more modest. Now, I would say that I dress pretty modestly beforehand anyway, but even things as simple as a skirt or a dress that was slightly above the knee, maybe 2 inches above the knee, for me, that already feels short, right? But now I don't even want to do that. Of course, I need to be bending over and squatting, and so that just doesn't really work. But I don't want to be wearing something that gives the vibe of somebody who's going out, no care in the world. I can just look sexy or something. Like, that's just, it just does not feel right to me at this point. Like, I'm almost in my 30s. I have a 1-year-old. I need to act like it. That's my opinion, but for me, that is how I feel. So what is the implication of this? My style is changing. I feel like I can't wear a lot of my nice clothing. I don't have the time or the energy to really do my hair the way I would like to. I can't really even leave my hair down very much because he'll grab and pull on my hair. I know that's an issue with having a little child, but we're planning on growing our family in the future, so that's just going to continue for the foreseeable future. I can't wear long necklaces for the same reason. They'll get pulled on, or big earrings. I'm not wearing my heels anymore, etc. There's a lot of things that I own that I would like to wear that I'm not because I feel like I can't. What is up with this emotional tangle of threads? Does all of this mean that I, or you, if you're in a similar situation, does it mean that we're boring now? And honestly, the answer to that, I think, is what does it matter? Who cares? We're all worried about our own affairs. So it's better to just focus on what you like and what's working for you now and not worry about whether it seems boring, especially compared to people on the internet, which most people on the internet don't dress like normal people in real life anyway. Another question that I ask myself is, have I lost myself by not being able to wear the things that I want to wear? And of course, this is an exaggeration because I do wear a lot of the things that I want to wear. There are just certain things that don't work for me as a mother of a small child. And one answer to that is who you are is changing. I think that that is probably clear to you as it is to me. Your priorities, your personality, your interests, they're all adapting now that you have a little person. And even neuroscience has confirmed that your brain physically changes. It is literally not the same anymore after being pregnant and giving birth. So who you are has changed. I want to move on to another question, which is it shallow to even care? Now, what I would say to that is what is most important first priority to you? How much time is spent on your appearance, or thinking about it, or watching videos about it? Looking at myself here, are your kids in your home well taken care of? Or are those things being neglected because of how much time you're spending on your clothing or your hair? It's also really important to remember that beauty is essential to who we are as human beings. Think of all the creative works that you love, the music that moves you, the paintings that just speak to your soul. And that extends to how women dress and how they present themselves. And that's not an accident. It's because women embody beauty, especially the beauty of the human form. So we shouldn't vilify caring about beauty. Also, fun. Fun and hobbies are really important. That is something that I have been picking up a little bit more lately with starting YouTube and soap making, which is something I'd like to make more videos about in the future. Taking time, even if it's a little bit, to do something that you enjoy. I know everybody talks about this, but are you doing it? And for me, clothing is fun. Going to the thrift store is fun. Picking out what I'm gonna wear, thinking about what I'm gonna wear, watching lots of YouTube videos about things that other people have found. I enjoy that. I find it entertaining. And so for me, that is not something that I necessarily need to feel guilty about. I think it's also important to feel confident, feel put together, and feel productive, all of which is given to you in a way by getting dressed. I don't know if I want to say in the morning, because again, like, I don't even have time to get dressed in the morning, but it really makes a difference for my let's get started with the day. Let's do everything that I need to do. I feel different whenever I've gotten dressed, whenever my hair is clean, and maybe I've put on just the smallest amount of makeup. So as far as how to think about this, one, remember it's just a season. It irritates me when people say season, and stop saying season. There has to be another word in the English language for this topic, but I can't think of it, so here we go. Remember that it's just a season. If you have small children like I do, it won't last that long when they're this little, and you have to make a great deal of concessions on their behalf. And the word that came to mind here was condescension. And I don't mean condescension in the negative sense of looking down on someone. I mean in the sense of understanding weakness and having compassion. And when you have compassion, it leads to selflessness, and selflessness leads to joy. And I need to learn to be compassionate and selfless and joyful in spite of this little teeny tiny inconvenience in the grand scheme of things. Likewise, consider the trade-off. Yes, maybe you can't wear some of the things that you would normally like to wear. Your children are an amazing and joyful gift, and I doubt very much that you would give them back in order to have the clothes that you like. Lastly, is there anything that you can do to more efficiently manage your schedule so that you do have time to get ready? I need to do things differently in the evening so that I have time to put my hair in rollers so that I can curl it in the morning. So yeah, things are changing. Things are always changing. Whenever I feel discouraged about my inability to make new habits, keep new habits, and I think, I'm just incapable of change, I remember, no, you are only capable of change. As a human, you are constantly changing. So, of course, this too is going to change, and that's okay. If this thought experiment was helpful to you, let me know in the comments below, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.